Greetings, Guardians. This is Olympus Alliance. Before we dive into today's topic, make sure to subscribe to the channel and leave a like if you enjoy deep strategy discussions like this one. Every bit of support helps the channel continue bringing you guides, analysis, and practical insights so you can stay one step ahead in Dominion. And today, Guardians, we are starting something a little different on the channel. Instead of focusing on specific teams or individual hero builds like we usually do, we are launching a new series dedicated entirely to talismans. Because talismans have quietly become one of the most powerful and flexible mechanics in Hero Wars Alliance. In this series, we will go hero by hero, faction by faction, analyzing the talismans available for each character and asking a very important question. Which talisman is the best overall? And which one becomes stronger depending on the situation? Many of you may already be familiar with some of the newer talismans introduced over the past year. Several heroes have received a second talisman, which can completely change the way they perform in battle. If you're interested in those heroes, we have already covered some of them here on the Olympus Alliance channel. Heroes like Peach, Folio, Goose, Somna, Aiden, Electra, and Polaris have all received detailed talisman reviews. So if you want to check those out, simply search for them on the channel and you'll find the breakdowns there. But now we are going to go deeper. This new series will be organized faction by faction, beginning with the Honor faction. For each hero, we will analyze the available talismans in detail, and once we complete the heroes of a faction, we will finish with a broader overview where we evaluate the entire faction, and discuss the best talisman strategies overall. Whenever we talk about a talisman, we will always follow the same structure. First, we list the main stat, the one that is fixed and always present on the talisman. Then we discuss the secondary stat, which is the variable stat. And this is extremely important, because the secondary stat is the one you can reroll using Metacubes in order to achieve the best possible result for that hero. This mechanic introduces a level of flexibility that is actually quite rare in Hero Wars. Most hero resources in the game are locked once you level them. When you upgrade skins, glyphs, artifacts, or sparks of power, those decisions are permanent. But talismans are different. Talismans allow you to change the dynamics of a hero from fight to fight. Simply by switching talismans, you can adjust your hero's stats and approach depending on the opponent you're facing. For players who take part in serious PvP or competitive guild activities, this becomes a very powerful strategic tool. A well-chosen talisman can change the outcome of a battle. Sometimes for the better. And sometimes, if used incorrectly, for the worse. So pay attention, Guardians. Understanding these differences can make a huge impact when you're preparing your lineup for battle. And today we begin with a hero that almost every player in Dominion recognizes. The poster boy of Hero Wars Alliance. Galahad. Now let's begin with a little honesty. These days, Galahad is rarely seen in the highest level competitive game modes. The game has evolved significantly, and many newer heroes have taken the spotlight in serious PvP environments. But that doesn't mean Galahad has no place in the game. And understanding his talismans can still be valuable, especially for players who enjoy experimenting with honor teams or alternative strategies. Galahad currently has 2 talismans available. The first one is the Talisman of War. This talisman was originally obtained for free through a login event, which already gives it a significant advantage in accessibility. The Talisman of War provides strength as the main stat and critical hit chance as the secondary stat. And that critical hit stat is actually quite interesting for Galahad. Normally, Galahad is not associated with critical mechanics. But when you introduce critical hit chance into his kit, new possibilities appear. For example, you can start pairing him with heroes that buff critical hits, such as Sebastian, Goose, or Oya. Suddenly, Galahad's attacks become more explosive. His ultimate ability deals area of effect physical damage, and when critical hits begin triggering during those moments, the damage output can become surprisingly strong. Now let's look at the second option. The Talisman of Chivalry. This talisman was released under a very different condition. Instead of being available freely, it was locked behind a 60,000 emerald paywall, making it much more expensive to obtain. The stats on this talisman are armor penetration and physical attack. And on paper, these are very attractive stats for a damage-focused Galahad. Armor penetration allows him to bypass enemy defenses, while physical attack directly increases the damage of his abilities. Because Galahad's ultimate deals area damage, increasing physical attack and armor penetration can significantly increase the pressure he applies to enemy teams. And there is another small interaction to consider. Galahad has a bit of vampirism in his kit. That means the more damage he deals, the more health he can recover during battle. So when you increase his offensive potential with armor penetration and physical attack, you are indirectly increasing his survivability as well. In certain matchups, this can become quite valuable. For example, if you are facing an enemy team with very high armor values, Galahad might struggle to deal meaningful damage without armor penetration. In that situation, the Talisman of Chivalry could actually become the better choice. So both talismans have their advantages. One enhances critical mechanics and synergy with creep-based teams. The other increases his raw damage output and improves his effectiveness against armored opponents. But the question remains: which talisman is better overall? If we had to choose just one, we would lean toward the Talisman of War. The reason is quite simple. First, the critical hit chance adds a completely new dimension to Galahad's gameplay. Second, it is much easier to obtain, since it was originally given for free, and can now be obtained through the Eternal Frontier. And third, the strength stat that comes with it provides an additional 80,000 health, helping Galahad survive a bit longer on the front line. That extra durability can make a difference in certain fights. Meanwhile, the Talisman of Chivalry certainly has value, especially in armor-heavy matchups, but the emerald cost of 60,000 makes it a much harder investment to justify unless you are truly committed to using Galahad as a damage dealer. So Guardians, that is our assessment for Galahad. But now we want to hear from you. Do you agree that the Talisman of War remains the better overall choice? Or do you think the Talisman of Chivalry deserves the investment for its offensive potential? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and also tell us which heroes you would like to see next in this Talisman series. Because this is only the beginning. We will continue exploring the Honor faction and breaking down the talismans for each hero, helping you understand how these small decisions can make a big difference in battle. Stay tuned, stay sharp. And as always, salute and friendship.